What is up, people? So, today we got a special one. We got Ralph Danneberg. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. From Germany. He is the Olympic champion from 1984 and then the Olympic bronze medalist in 1988. PR over 67 meters. This is, as you can see from the title, a 66-60. I think this is his winning throw. Thank you to the thrower fam for providing this video. Let's see. So we're gonna play. Would you start? Okay, there. Let's just watch this a couple times. So he was throwing in a very, very competitive era. A lot of really good throwers. Mac Wilkins, John Powell, Jurgen Schultz, just to name a few. So just incredible competition at this time. So yeah, as you can see, super simple, super awesome technique as one can expect from a German. It's pretty much just beautiful. It's just beautiful technique. So let's get straight into the analysis. So again, this is filmed in the 80s, so I'm sorry for the potato quality. But we'll get the point. All right, so he starts off nice and nice wind here, pretty level shoulders. Get a straight line, level shoulders. Wow, level shoulders. There we go. Good God, level shoulders there. Pretty evenly balanced in terms of weight distribution, so he's not leaning to the right. He's not too far over his left. His weight is dead center. So beautiful wind. Love that. All right. So let's see how he turns at the back. He keeps his right foot on the ground pretty long time. Very good. And as you can see, this is what I love to coach. And it is as the left foot turns and as the left side turns out the back, that right knee goes out and around. And you're going to see that he has a very, very good sweep right here, this position. So he has a whole bunch of tension. And I like to use the term like there's like a buso ball in between your knees. So that just thinking about that allows you to just have really wide knees. And that's what you want. You don't want your knees to come together. You want them to spread out in opposite directions, which creates a lot of tension, which then creates a stretch shortening cycle, which allows you to allow your hips and your sweep to whip around without you having to force it. Because if you learn how to use stretch reflex to your advantage, you will be able to just whip around. And your muscles will, relax. And that relaxation is what creates that whipping effect. So you put them under tension in this position, and then when your right foot leaves the ground finally, after you build up all that tension, that it relaxes, and that relaxation and that snap back to where the muscle was originally, what pre-stretched out, is what allows that muscle to whip around. And a good way to test this is it just kind of works like a rubber band. You just stretch a rubber band. If you just think your muscle is a rubber band, so in this case it'd be like your groin, pretty much. Your groin, or like the inside of your thigh, would be stretched out a lot, and then if your groin is the rubber band, is stretched out, and then you release the tension, it will just snap back to where it should be. And that's basically what your muscles do. They're elastic. So you want them to stretch out, and then they'll snap, pretty much. And that's kind of the effect he's getting here with his hips. All right, so he gets here. Good. He kind of stops the left shoulder, not the left shoulder, the left foot maybe a little too early. Actually, no, that's probably right. This is a weird angle to film a throw. I think he's, yeah, oh no, yeah, it's a little early. But yeah, it's down the left side. Sorry, right side, just a little bit, like the right sector. So it's fine. It's not bad. That's about where like stall and they drop it, or stop it. I mean, he does. It looks like, and I could be wrong. It's up there. Yeah, he drops his left heel a little bit out the back, kind of like how Krauser does. So it stops there, and now everything whips around. And you notice his left foot doesn't keep turning. So that's what a lot of beginners do, is they just kind of just keep turning so they're facing this way. That's how you over rotate. So you want that, if you're a right-handed thrower, you want that left foot to stop down the right sector. All right, and your left side is going to just stop. And that allows that right side to keep whipping around. If your left side doesn't stop, you could do the stretch reflex thing I was talking about over here. And if you don't stop your left side here, you just basically did that for no reason, because now that force has nothing to go into. So you have all that force built up in your left side. When you stop that left side, that right side is going to go whip around. It's the same concept as your block at the front. So, when you block with your left side, you just stop your left side and that right side continues to go, and that speeds up your right side. So just think of this back like you're blocking. You're blocking your left side, and that right side is going to whip around. All right? So that's what he does a fantastic job here. He kind of drops his left arm just a little bit. I personally would like that to keep up, but you notice how his shoulder isn't dropping, so it's fine. It doesn't really matter quite that much. Like, sure, like his left arm could be a little more up compared to where his right is, or sorry, not up, but longer. But it's not affecting his shoulder, so that's good. The shoulder is more important than the arm. Like, you can drop your arm without dropping your shoulder. Now, if his shoulder was like down here, that would be bad, because then he'd get too high of an orbit and not be able to get out on the implement at the finish, and he would just throw it straight up in the air. All right, so he does a fantastic job of not dropping his shoulder like that. So, but I would personally like his left arm to be a little longer to act more of a counterbalance, so he's a little, more balanced in the middle. And that's also why, again, you want a wide sweep like he gets here. You want that wide sweep because the wider you sweep, one, more rotational energy you will bring into the middle of the ring, and two, it acts as a counterbalance, so you can get over your left side more without just falling. So it acts as a counterbalance, so you can just stay more balanced on your left side. And that's why you want to stay super long in the throw. That works for shot put as well. You want a long sweep. All right? In both shot and disc. So he gets here. He's perfectly stacked here. Really, really nice. Everything is lined up beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. All right? So he gets here. He's going to keep turning. Landing maybe a little wide. He actually doesn't get fully across the ring, actually. I would personally like him to get that left foot down maybe here, so he can stay on his right side a little longer. Kind of shifts just a little bit too much. Just a little bit. But it's like really nothing to be concerned about. Like right here, he shifts just a little bit before he starts turning. But he still makes great contact with the ground. And, like every German, he's actually one of the rare Germans, especially at this time, that actually reversed. Well, I guess Wolfgang Schmidt did at this time, too. Wolfgang Schmidt, him. But, if you think of German discus throwers, you think a lot more of the non-reverse type, because, you got Jürgen Schultz, you got Lars Riedel, Michael Mullenbeck, then a couple others. And I guess Wolfgang Schmidt, I guess you can call it, I guess he reversed, but it's more of a non-reverse with the reverse. But, it is basically a non-reverse, which I think is how you should reverse, is the non-reverse to reverse. But I'm not going to get into that whole thing. But basically, the whole thing is you just non-reverse, and the discus leaves your hand, and that's when you're supposed to reverse. I think that is the fundamental way, instead of just jumping up in the air. that's how you should reverse. So just look up Wolfgang Schmidt and just see what he does, because he's the foundation for, I think, modern day reversing is him. So yeah, but I could talk about Wolfgang Schmidt all day, but we're here to discuss Rolf here. So turns super nice here, gets a really good block. So this is what I'm talking about. That left side stops right there, and his right continues. Now maybe he's off the ground, maybe a little bit too early, because that disc is still in his hand, like right here. So he's a bit off the ground here, but oops, wrong way. Yeah, so he pops back that left foot just a little bit too early, and for my liking. But it's just like, I mean, can you complain? I mean, this throw won him the Olympics, and well, I think it was this throw. This is from the '84 Olympics. I'm pretty sure it was this throw. I could be wrong on that too, but whatever. It was one of his throws from the Olympics. So he gets here. Yeah, like he didn't get his like hip all the way through. Like you see how like his hips are like a little bit back. They're not like forward. But whatever. I mean, he jumped. Maybe no, sorry, not jumped. He just popped his left foot back. This is honestly kind of like a Mac Wilkins type finish, where he stayed over that right and then really just glide reversed into it. So he kind of just like went really forward. But I mean, and whatever. I mean, that was just a stylistic thing at the time in the 80s, But his right side mechanics are super, super nice. That turn, that patience into the throw. And if we just look back and just play this, you see that whip that he gets at his sweep? That's because of that stretch. So, like, you see how, like, fast he's whipping that sweep around? That's because he's utilizing stretch. That's how you can be a smaller person and you can beat people who don't understand this, that are a lot bigger than you. All right? And I had a whole career in this, especially in high school, where my coach taught me this concept, and I was able to beat people like twice my size, just because this allowed me to move super, super fast. And if you understand how to use stretch reflex, it will bump your like throwing up substantially, and you'll have to do way less effort to throw far. And that's the name of the game. Mac Wilkins always had a saying: you want to throw as far as possible with the least amount of effort, and those will usually be your best throws. So, and it's true. Most of your best throws in your life will actually feel like you did nothing. And sometimes people will mistake that for, oh, I didn't put any power into the implement. But the truth is, it's because you put all the power in it and just kind of just booped out of your hand. It should just kind of just feel like a little pop. If it feels like super muscly and powerful, you're probably just muscling everything, and you're probably not throwing very far. And especially in discus, you cannot muscle a discus and throw far, because it just will not fly correctly. And flight in discus is everything. You can do everything correctly. Like, so if he did all of this, and then at the very end, he just managed to just scoop the discus and just throw it up in the air, well, he went from winning the Olympics to getting last place. So, yeah, like, it doesn't really matter. If you have a bad release, you can be bad through the ring and then have a good release and throw really far. All right, especially in wind. So if you're a discus out there, and there's one thing you take away from this, it's work on your release mechanics. All right, learn how to fly a discus. Some people can just naturally fly a discus no matter what. And I know those people are annoying, but the rest of us mere mortals have to actually work on our release mechanics, and are not possessed with those capabilities. Am I salty? No, I'm not salty at all. But yeah, you know, you have to spend the time. It's boring, but in the long term, if you learn how to fly that discus, you won't have to do the fundamentals anymore. So just take like the month or two that it needs to be able to learn how to fly discus. You know, do those basic drills, and in the long term, it will save you so much heartache. All right. But anyway, I hope this video helps, and I hope you guys learned something, and thanks for watching. Bye.